Head over to BoardGamePrices.com to find the best price on Gingerbread House and thousands of other games. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today, get out that frosting. Decorate those cookies, put that house together. Today, we're going to be talking about Gingerbread House. This is from Lookout Games. This is for 2 to 4 players, and this is sort of a spatial game where you're building your own gingerbread house and trapping characters that you may know. So let me show you how it works. I'll see you on the other side. In Gingerbread House, each player is going to get a board, and each player's board will actually be different. And you're going to get these different cookie tiles, and you're going to be placing these on these boards, covering up things, getting resources, and spending those resources to grab cards and get points. Let me show you how it works. Turns are very simple in this game. You're simply going to take one of the 3 cookie tiles that you have face up, and you're going to place it somewhere on your board. When you do that, you're going to place it in different ways like this or like this. And you're going to get resources or take special actions for whatever you cover. So in this case, I'm going to cover this. I'll get a red heart cookie and a green cookie. So I'll cover that like that, and I'll get those 2 resources. And you'll get those from the supply, and you'll simply just add them over just like that. It would simply be the next player's turn. Let's say it comes back to me. Everyone has these staircases, and you can place these because when you place these cookie tiles, by the way, after you place one, you actually get another cookie tile to choose from. When you're placing these, they have to stay level. Since this one's up 1 level, you can't place it like this because it's not level, but you can use these staircases to make things level. And you can see through the staircases because now if I place this like this, I have 2 blues, a blue here that we can see through, and this. And anytime you can get 2 of the same, you actually get a 3rd resource. So here, I go like this, and I would get 3 blue resources because I covered 2 of them. So 3 of those blue cookies. Now, after you've placed your cookie, you can use these resources to trap a character. Now there's always 4 characters face up like this, and you can see what cookies they need in order to trap them. So we had just gotten 3 blue cookies. Now you can use any or all resources, and you can trap more than 1 character if you can. So I would spend these to the supply, and I would trap here Captain Hook. And notice that these are cool characters that people know about: Puss in Boots, Peter Pan, Frog King, Captain Hook. So I'm going to spend these 3, and I'm going to be able to take this. This will be worth points at the end of the game, but also there's certain types of things about these characters. Some of them are, bad-tempered characters. Some of them are cheerful characters. Some of them are humans. Some of them are non-humans, or they're, sort of monsters there. So these are going to be used for set collection, which I'll show you in just a moment. But you would essentially take this character that you've trapped, and you'd place it face down beneath your board just like that. It'd be the next player's turn. Now, as you're placing tiles, you might cover one of these special things. So if I did this, I would get a yellow for covering that, but I'd also get to essentially use a gate to reserve one of those characters. So there's always 4 characters out here. Let's say I want to reserve this one. I would take it. It would get replaced at the end of my turn, and I would place it face up right near the gate symbol. You can only have 2 of them sort of reserved. And what this means is when you spend resources in order to trap a character, you can trap the ones that we just showed you that are already in the line that anybody can get, or you can trap one that you've reserved that nobody else can. So this is sort of a way of just reserving the card to be able to trap it when you can spend the resources. If you cover this stairway, like here we'd get a yellow cookie and a stairway, you simply grab another one of these stairways from the pile, so you'll have another one of these. And if you end up covering one of these switches, again, if we did this, we'd get a green cookie and we could exchange. What we do is we could exchange any one of the resources here for any one of the other resources. And so those are the 3 different actions. You're always going to have 3 cookies to choose from face up, and as soon as you use it, you'll take one from your draw pile. You have a total of 15 tiles. After everyone has played their 15 tiles, the game will end and you do final scoring. Now that you know the basics, a couple of other little things here. Anytime you trap a character, meaning you've spent the resources and you put them face down, you can trap as many as you want. You get immediately a wild tile. And these wild tiles will cover anything, and when you do that, you'll get that resource and or action. So if I covered this, I'd get a stare. If I covered this, I'd get a green cookie. And then later on, when you cover this, you can get anything you want. So that's pretty cool. Although there's 2 greens here, I couldn't cover this and get like 3 greens because this is still just a wild. You'd get 2 greens, but this could be anything you want. Now, anytime you finish a whole level like this, level 1 is complete. When you do that, you get a bonus card. Now, there's always a certain amount of these depending on the amount of players. This is a 2-player game, and these bonus cards will give you things to shoot for the rest of the game. Like this, if you get this, you'll get 2 points for every character that you've trapped showing a green cookie, for example. This one is one for every, and this is always for the ones that you've trapped, one for every human character, and that's the top right of some of these cards. If you've built your gingerbread house at any spot to 6 levels high, you'll get that for 4 points. This one, any gingerbread characters that you had to use 6 gingerbread cookies to get, you'll get 2 extra points. Some of the characters are, look like this, and you'll get a certain amount of points depending on those that you get. Some of them are like cheerful, and you'll get 2 points for each one there. So you can play it like this. There's also a very basic way that you can play if you're playing with kids or whatever. These will just be bonus points, but I highly recommend playing this way. It makes it a lot more interesting. That's pretty much the whole game. The only other thing you can do is on your turn, if you kind of find yourself boxed in, you can discard any one of your cookies to get 2 staircases. That will help you sort of get out of a corner. Once everyone's placed their 15 tiles, the game will end. And players will simply count the points on all their trapped characters and the bonus points that have to do with those. Whoever has the most is the winner. All right, there is Gingerbread House. Now, first of all, fun theme. I like games that have unique and interesting themes, and even though the theme is not very much too much tied to the gameplay itself, it still is a fun theme and it looks nice. I like that there's some known characters that you saw there: Peter Pan, Captain Hook, Rapunzel's in there, a bunch of things that and I like how that kind of brings out sort of characters that it makes the game more fun in that regards. The game is simple mechanisms. This is super easy to teach. This is easily a gateway style game, especially if you play with those bonus cards face down. I mean, literally, most always you're placing a tile and then just getting some resources and maybe turning those in to trap a card. It's very simple, so I like how it's very easy to teach. I like that you're trying to set up for future turns. You're looking at what you're covering, how you're covering it, you're looking at your other cookies that you have available, and you're trying to figure out, you're thinking a few turns ahead, trying to think of what can I get. You're looking at the cards, you're looking at the bonuses. So even though the game is simple, there definitely is a lot of things to think about as you're placing things down with resources, characters, bonus cards, you name it. I like the stairways, definitely helps you kind of paint yourself out of a corner, put yourself a level up, and you still get the thing below that. That's cool. I like that also for your action, you can spend one of your cookie cards, your tiles, to get 2 more stairs. You may have to do that if you end up getting yourself in a tough spot there, but it allows you to kind of get out of those tough spots. I really like the set collection for those bonus cards, whether you're trying to get the ones that are, pleasant looking or mean or humans or non-humans, and those are kind of fun, or trying to get the ones that have the specific types of cookies on them. And I like that basically the puzzle is changing every game. Everyone's board starts off different, and it's going to just morph. Even after your first placement, things are going to start to change. So it's a very puzzly game that definitely changes the puzzle every time you play. I like that when you do trap one of those cards, one of those characters, you put it down below and you immediately get a wild, which you can play and then maybe get another resource, which will allow you to get another card. So this really cool thing about being able to sort of combo together some certain things and set things up with those little wilds is a really cool aspect. Overall, I enjoyed the game. It's a very light filler. It says 30 minutes on the box. It's definitely even less than that with 2 players. 30 minutes, I would say, would be the max it would take with 4 players. So it is a good quick filler. I enjoyed it. If you like those spatial relationship type of games, I think this is going to be one you like. Any negatives from me is it was enjoyable. Meaning, if you came to me and said, "Hey, do you want to play Gingerbread House?" I'd say, "Cool, let's do it. Let's play it." While waiting for somebody else to come in here. But for me, it didn't really grab me, say, as much as Barren Park did. And I'm using Barren Park because it's from the same designer, Phil Walker Harding, and it's similar in the fact that you're playing tiles, covering things up, and doing things. So it's somewhat similar to that game. But Barren Park for me was like amazing, where this is just, it's fun. It's not bad. It didn't blow my mind. I'd gladly play it, but it didn't quite grab me like other games. I'd say that's the only personal negative for me. However, I was at a smaller convention a couple weeks ago, and we played many new Essen releases, and one of the guys there, this was his favorite game the whole weekend. So many people do like the game. It was fine. It was okay. It was enjoyable, but not much more than that, and that is Gingerbread House. The overview in this video was shot on a Watson model Game Topper. Upgrade every game you play with the ultimate gaming accessory, Game Toppers, shipping now. Check them out at GameToppersLLC.com.